Change sucks. No matter how much you know it needs to happen. I'm going to talk about this one because this has just been on my mind a lot lately, and it's not whiskey nerd, and we're going to get back to some whiskey nerd things, I promise. But knowing that change needs to happen and experiencing the change, two different things. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. I'm not leaving. You guys are going to be gun shy after a while with all the changes constantly happening. I think we've been fooled as a modern society, for lack of a better explanation, into thinking that because our access to information has gotten faster and easier and bigger than ever before in the history of the world, that emotionally and psychologically that is also true. But it's not true. Availability and access does not change how your heart and your soul and your mind process the world around you. A few years back, I was going through some really major changes and heart-wrenching changes. And I read and I studied and I read because I'm a nerd. And I studied and I talked to people endlessly. And I kept thinking, I know all the things. I know all the truths. I know this is worth it. I know it needs to happen. I know why. But my heart's not catching up, and this is still brutal. And I can't get my mind and heart to march to the same beat. And I still feel like a hollowed out ship. And I was talking to Dr. Richard Grant, or Dr. Nick Grant, who is an instructor at Wizard Academy. He was on the board of directors for a long time. He was a president or chairman of the board of directors for Wizard Academy. He is a 40-plus years practicing clinical psychologist and a Jungian scholar and one of the world's foremost experts on MBTI, a Myers-Briggs type indicator. And he takes that and wraps it into Jungian temperament psychology, and he's just brilliant and one of the kindest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I asked him that same question. And Dr. Grant, I always compare to like halfway between Bill Nye the Science Guy and Mr. Rogers. So I asked him, why, Dr. Grant? I know all the things, but my heart still feels like it's made of duct-taped eggshell. And he said something, and it's been just ringing in my brain ever since. But first, Del Bach. I'm a huge fan of Del Bach. This is Stephen Paul and his daughter Amanda. Stephen and Amanda. And they started Del Bach in Tucson. And the early days of Tucson, people were bringing me whiskeys. They released one called Dorado, I think. Anyway, it's mesquite smoked malt, but they're doing malt. And they were trying to apply to it, sort of like Colcagan, the American or desert version of Scottish peated malt. And so they used mesquite. It was very heavy in the early days. As they've grown, they've gotten more nuanced and subtle. This is specifically their 10th anniversary, and I'm drinking it for a reason, which I'm going to talk about. But get your hands on any Del Bach, and you'll see what I mean. This one is ex-Calvados barrels finished. Calvados is just an apple, sometimes pear brandy from Normandy, France. And I was picking it up and smelling it while I was talking, but let's talk about it for real. Okay, still that deep, bitter, dark chocolate malt. And it's not a chocolate malt, it just smells, right? And that dark smoke. But the smoke is turned down and really balanced with this. I can smell brandy notes in there. The sweetness of a brandy. Wow, that Calvados is really taking off on this. Yes, okay. Sorry, I just got lost in the glass for a second. Maybe we'll fast forward that section. Oh, come on. It's thinner in the palate than I would like, and this is 50% alcohol. I'm looking for a little more density and richness than it provides, but everything in the nose is in the palate. The sweetness, the light chocolate, the smoky notes, and the ashiness mixed with these like brandy sweetness. And I wonder if the sweetness of the brandy notes are sort of like taming down the mid-palate, mid-rangey frequencies. Whatever it is, This might be the most subtle, gentle representation of Del Bach that I've ever tried. It's very graceful. And I like Del Bach, I'm a fan. But this is cool, celebrating their 10th anniversary. Well done, guys. Okay. So I asked Dr. Grant, this is a hard video to shoot, but okay. I asked Dr. Grant, why can't my mind keep up with my heart? Or the other way around, why can my heart not keep up with my head knowledge? This is not working, this is not working. And he said this sentence. He said, Daniel, the human heart moves at the speed of agriculture. And I went, okay, what do you mean by that? And he said, humans are fundamentally tied to the earth and seasons and the space that we live in and the patterns, fundamental building block patterns of the universe. And the earth moves in seasons and big picture changes. Access to data and information does not change the fact that the earth moves around the sun at the same speed it always did, and that the seasons change the same way they always have. And as humans, we're tied into that. We're not tied into how fast we can get data. We're fundamentally, archetypally tied into the earth from which we come. And it's easy to forget that. And he said, but your mind might get access to information, but your heart changes at the speed of the earth. And this is why you need 4 full seasons for something really dramatic in your life to take hold and settle. You need to experience life with this change all the way through the changes of the soul. And that's a minimum of 1 year, a minimum. A lot has changed on this channel and a lot's going to change. It's going to take years for us to settle into what the new thing is. This is how it works. I can explain to you on multiple videos, here's how it's going to be and here's how it's going to go, but the heart doesn't keep up with that. I'm drinking Del Bach because this was a gift from Patrick Cohn, who passed away recently. I was going through looking for a whiskey to review for this episode, and I found, oh yeah, Del Bach, and I grabbed the bottle. I was like, I don't remember that one. And then I saw his name written by him on the side of the bottle, and it just cracked me like a egg. And it's not been long enough. And what brought to mind was, oh yeah, Daniel, it's only been months since Patrick walked through the door and you shared a whiskey with him in the vault. And that's not enough time. And I'm not ready for that to not be true again. So this is why I love whiskey. This is why I'm in the whiskey industry, because whiskey moves at the pace of agriculture. And I like things that are slower and give my heart time to catch up. And whiskey connects us to people, and it takes time to get where it needs to be. It's the most one-to-one experience of human life that I've been able to find. And that's why it moves me. That's why I think it's worth investing your energies into. And that's why I'm here. And it'll never stop connecting me to the people that I love, and never stop being a part of my memories of them and of you. And that's why I'm really glad you're here.